Hey everybody, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We're just driving in the 2022 1GD, a bit over 62,000 k's on the clock, and it performs really well on the highway, probably better than that camera mounted on the windscreen. To me, it looks like it vibrates around. Let me know in the comments, what does it actually come up like? Is it too bad or is it giving you a headache? Not here to talk to you about that though at this stage. I'm here to answer a few questions. Getting a lot of text messages asking me questions. Unfortunately, I've said it before, there's only one of me and there's thousands and thousands of you. So if everybody's texting me questions, it would be completely inefficient for me, even if I had the time to answer those questions. So all I'm going to be able to say is, that's why I started all those Facebook groups, because what you do then is you post your question there. I'm more likely to answer there because I like to help people in bulk, in groups where hundreds and thousands of people can read the answers. So what you do first is you join our Facebook groups, you search there before you post a question, because it may already be there before. The less words you use, the more results you get, and you can have a look through the results. If you don't find something similar, you can post up there, and whether I answer or somebody else that's had the same problem that I've already answered in the past, or people that have had the problem, it's got nothing to do with me, they just figured it out anyway, you're going to get a whole lot more help if you ask the question on our Facebook groups. So that's the first most important thing here. I've had a few people ordering suspension lately, the Dobinson suspension for their Prados on Tuesday mornings at 8 AM, and there's been a few lately that they actually haven't got their vehicles set up yet. So they're telling me, they tell me what weight it's, I'm thinking it's what it is, but it's what it's going to be. They haven't done it yet, so they want to order suspension for vehicles that basically, could be standard still or different to what they're going to be. So it's important that you do get your vehicle set up, or as close as possible to set up, before you do your suspension. Or you, alternatively, the other thing you can do, you can do it all at the same time, but you don't put your suspension in first, because the vehicle's going to sit most likely way too high, and therefore the suspension can top out, that sort of thing. Possibly it's going to look a bit silly. It's not really ideal to do your suspension first, I suppose, unless it's going to be within a week or two, this sort of period, or you're going to be on nice flat ground, and you're not going to be working the suspension to its limits, where it's going to top out and that sort of thing. Okay, back onto this vehicle for a few seconds. Slide uphill back there, and even though it's supposedly got 500 Newton meters of torque, it was still back to fourth gear at over 3,000 RPM, back to fourth, trying to get the job done. So, a little bit of mismanagement on the transmission software and the cruise control. If it got onto it a little bit sooner, it could go back to fifth lock up and pull up that hill without going back to fourth. But obviously a little bit slow, and then it gets into it a bit too much, and then away you go. So this hill here, it's only a slight hill. It's gone back to fifth, locked up straight away. Beautiful. Okay, we're coming up to another hill. Cruise control set on 115, because that's 110.5 kilometers an hour in this vehicle, and you'll probably find very similar in a lot of the Toyotas. Not here to talk about that, but we've got another sort of long hill. It's not super steep. I just wanted to let you know what the transmission does. Back to fifth, converter locked. So this one managed it a little bit better than the last hill, and I know these hills, it can easily pull up this hill. So the torque is certainly there. They've tuned it really well. It's still clean. Hang on, no, it's gone back to fourth right there. 3,300 RPM, converter lock back at about 3,100. Anyway, so even though it's got no trailer, it's a GX, it's nice and light, no bull bars. It's all loaded up for a trip, nice and light, one person, 3/4 of a fuel tank. It's still got to go back and forth to get up the hills. That's because it's a piddly little 2755cc engine, undersized engine for the size of the vehicle. Now, back to some other stuff. 1KZ injectors, if you've got the old 1KZ, Prado, 2003, 4, 5, 6, whatever. We used to keep a few sets of those in stock with the glow plugs and the map filters and stuff like that. They are increasingly hard to get. I'm getting sick of ordering and having, orders cancelled because they're not available, and long waits, and a couple turn up, and it's just a real drama. So I've got a number of different suppliers to get these from. We want to make sure they're only new, and that's what we recommend, only brand new, genuine, even though traditionally they are rebuildable. If you want an 80% job, you can get something much cheaper for, you shouldn't be paying more than about $300 or $400 really for a Rico set. if that's what you want, if you've got an older vehicle and you don't want to spend too much money and that's you, then certainly contact your local diesel specialist and risk it for the biscuit. But if you really love your vehicle and you know that the genuine, proper, real McCoy lasted 10 or 15 or 20 years and you just want that again, so you want brand new ones, you can contact me on Monday morning. But the way it works is you've got to allow a few weeks because they're probably coming from Japan and there could be delays. Like I said, there's been delays with that as well, so they could turn up in a week, they could be 2 weeks, they could be 3 weeks. This is a new thing we're doing where you make the payment anyway. I order them if I haven't got them. I'm still trying to get injectors, keep them in stock, but I'm not going to keep more than, because they are rare. Sometimes I don't sell any for a few months, but then I'll sell 4 sets in a week, you know. So this is the problem. There's no point me keeping 4 sets and collect dust for 3 months. So I'm going to keep 1 or 2 sets maybe, but quite often there's going to be none. But once yours are paid for, I will just keep ordering and reordering, and eventually they'll come. Bada bing. So, and it's not an injector kit for the 1KZ. It's the injectors, it's the glow plugs that we recommend, made in Japan, and the original genuine map filter. Those 3 items is the injector items for the 1KZ. Still getting lots of people every day trying to call me, all these missed calls. It doesn't bother me, I'm not upset. I'm just demonstrating that, you know, you haven't watched videos, because everybody, all you guys that are listening to this now, you've probably seen hundreds or thousands of videos and you know to not bother calling. It doesn't mean we can never have a phone call, it just means that, you know, text me what you need, and if we need a phone call, because I'm the one of me, and you're the one that wants to help, if necessary I'll give you a call. So a lot of missed calls. At the end of the day, it all just gets cleared, but then people often do listen to the voicemail and they send a text message. That's great, but if it's not to order parts Monday morning at 7:30, it's not so great, because again, they're asking questions, and it's not a question number, it's not a text number for, you know, tech hotline, ask your questions. Even for the VIPs, we've got a whole separate group set up for that, for the clients, the VIP group, okay? So if you want to be able to get all your questions in and get all your questions answered, of course the VIP group is the best place for that, and that of course comes with any of your parts kits purchase. Hey, you know, so one of the last ones, he asked for some help. He's got a 120 diesel, blah blah blah, you know, it's had engine rebuild, turbo and all that, because, you know, that's all these ones that come in a bit too late, that sort of thing. And, you know, he's got problems and whatever, but I can't be analysing those problems in a text message and putting the time aside. Even if you go, look, you know, you might, some people say, oh, you know, happy to pay for your time. Once again, my time I've provided for free in the YouTube videos. I've set up the Facebook groups and I answer the questions there for free. It's not about the money. It's not all about the money, you know what I mean? Obviously, if you want the parts kits, we need to, it takes even more time. So we need to pay for it. So we need to recover the money. And of course, we've got to pay the bills. So I'm happy with making a bit of money on the parts that pays the bills, and the rest of the service is free. Put it down to customer service. Even if you're not a client, you don't want to buy anything, the videos are available for you for free, okay? The information's there. If it's not there, that's what the Facebook groups are for. If there's enough questions, there'll be a video just like this. Why do you think I make this video? Because I'm getting all these questions, I'm getting all these missed calls, and thank you to all the people that listen and, you know, do the things that we press, keep it simple, because there's only one of me, and all of you, bloody beautiful, fantastic. But at the end of the day, if you've called and you've called, and you called 3 months ago, and you called a week ago, and you called yesterday, then you called today, and then you finally leave a message, wouldn't you think that I'm going to think you're a bit silly? Because the voicemail says, just text me straight, you know, just text me. Don't, you know, it's not, you can't, you know, basically what I'm saying to you now. But people just keep trying to ring instead of, so they're not helping themselves. You're not going to, by the more times you ring, the lower rated you are on chances you're ever going to get a reply. And how about the people that are clients that keep texting me things outside hours, like, you know, I might check the phone, say 10 o'clock at night, in case, you know, some emergency or someone, you know, something came through that matters, I might check it, you know. If I've got it, I might just go, oh yeah, look what's happening, oh yeah, a couple of red dots. And then I say, oh, and someone says, oh, you know, have you refunded my deposit yet? Oh, what am I going to reply then? No, and well, no, I haven't, because at the time that I went to refund deposits, I didn't have your bank details, because I said, when you send the return items back in the injectors, text me your bank details or put it in the package or both, and you didn't do that. So then I message you, you know, I've received your package, usually, and then, you know, nothing happens, whatever. Like, it doesn't by them. You don't have to send, you know what, for now, just keep everything. It's just, if it's too hard for you to send it back, just keep it, right? So for now, keep it. But if you want 220, send it back. There's options. I explained all the options in a video recently. That's what I do. I communicate to make it easier for you to get what you want, get your help, get your parts kits, get it right the first time. I'm doing everything I can to help you, but a lot of people aren't helping themselves by listening to the information. Once you purchase your injector kit, join the damn Facebook group. Or someone said to me today, oh, Facebook's crap. So again, it doesn't make sense what you're saying. I mean, I get what you're saying because there's a lot of crap people on Facebook because the world's crap, right? The world's crap. But if you want good service and be around the best people, the like-minded people, a bunch of great people in the VIP group, then it's on Facebook. It's just a platform you use. It's just like a place where it's like saying, I'm going to, how do I say this and not upset anyone? What's a suburb that everybody hates? Anyway, let's just pick out a really awesome, everybody loves Toorak, right? Toorak's beautiful, isn't it? So let's just pretend we don't like Toorak for a minute. So I'm going to have my 50th birthday party at this hall in Toorak. And you go, I hate that hall in Toorak. Like, who cares about the hall? It's not the hall, it's all the people you've been there and had parties with and you didn't like. Because there's nothing wrong with the hall. The hall, what is it? It's a room, it's clean, the floor's flat, you didn't trip over. They put out good food and drinks. Where's the problem, mate? If you're going to have a good night. So my point is, it's about the people. It's just a platform. So I've said this before, you kind of look a bit silly when you go, oh, Facebook's crap, I'm not going on Facebook. I got off that, you know. Not that like it's a thing, you know, like is Facebook a thing? Well, you can make it a thing if you want, or you can just join Facebook and use your first name, and your last name can be a car, like the bloke I'm asking on the right, the Commodore. So you could be Fred LPG Commodore, and you just put a picture of the side of your Commodore. Nobody needs to know who you are. There's no red Joe there. You can be all private, just your first name. Everybody's got a first name, Fred or Barney or whatever, right? And you just join our groups, mate. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just keep watching all the videos, all the older ones, and the groups. The list of groups pops up every now and then. I haven't done it too much lately because, you know, how many times do I have to do it? You need to get back through those videos. If you can't be bothered, well, guess what, people? Neither can I. So I know it's pretty much a waste of time, isn't it? I'm talking to people about calling and about texting outside hours, and they're not getting what they want. They're probably a bit frustrated, but it's just damn common sense, isn't it? Just do things at the right time. At least, if you're going to break the rules and text during business hours. At least do it in the morning. At least do it early in the week, right? But if you follow the directions by watching the videos and following the posts and getting in these groups, you know how it works. You know how I roll. You understand there's only one of me. I need to put the directions out there. I've put them out there. You just follow it step by step. Everything works and it's a good experience, which is what most people get. But I can imagine, you know, like you ask them these questions, you know, like one of the blokes that called yesterday, all these missed calls, and then I get these texts there, I reckon after hours. Do you think, you know, the next morning when I've got work to do, I'm just going, oh, hang on, I've got to get back to those messages from last night, oh, and the night before. Forget it, because then it just starts a whole text conversation you haven't got time for either. Okay, so put it on the Facebook groups, you'll get replies, there might be even some more replies, there'll be some other people with experiences, because the wise people follow all the videos in Facebook groups, they see what I write, and they go, yep, that makes sense. And then when I see it all the time, I know the people who watch, listen and learn and help and help share the load with me and answer some questions and that. It's awesome, thank you. And you know, then they can help out. So, but once again, I'm wasting my time, aren't I? You know, I'm just talking to the people that already know. So let's wrap this one up. Thanks for listening. We're on the Prado highway heading towards Bendigo to the engine replacement hospital, but not to replace an engine, because there's not that many engines we need to replace for our people who listen, who do the right things, follow the directions. Every now and then we get one that gets unlucky, but that's what the Cracked Piston Fund's all about. There's a whole bunch of people in there that if it happens to them, they're going to be getting a free engine with free labour. All they've got to do is get the car to us, and that's why you have your top level RAC, you understand how it works, and you get it towed straight from A to Z, not B, C, D along the way, and then you've stuffed it up and it's going to cost you for towing. Directly from where you are to where it's got to go. That would be a time to text me anytime, and that's why I check the phone every now and then when I can, not always, after hours and weekends. I've got a totally separate after hours number. If you're in the VIP VIP group, there's people in there. If you were to get in the VIP group and say, hey, I've got a cracked piston, I'm in blah, 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 I really need to get a hold of Anthony to work out where his hospital is to get the engine replaced, because I need to get the car towed straight there, but he's not responding, and people will at least be able to say, well, unfortunately this time you're stuck because he's in the middle of the Simpson Desert, you won't get a hold of him, but someone might be able to help, you know, with access. Someone might be able to come up with the other phone number, and sometimes you do just got to be patient. You just got to say, look, you know, don't pull the towing, right? Just leave the towing, set up your camper trailer on the side of the road, and just sit tight, because I'm pretty good at getting back at people. But I'm just giving you an example. Most of the time you're going to get, if you're really unlucky, it might be a more difficult one, but that's why I check these things every now and then. Doesn't mean there's not going to be a weekend that goes by where I don't check for the whole weekend. Of course, that's going to happen, but it doesn't really bother me to check the phone a few times a day anyway. And it doesn't really bother me, but there's all these people that keep doing the wrong thing. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that they're going to be dissatisfied, they're going to be frustrated, so I'm trying to help. That's why I'm doing this video. Driving down the road, not wasting time, could be on a phone call or something. The other thing I thought about doing was, I was going to ring all these people that text me and say, hey, and answer their questions for an hour, and you can all have a listen to the phone call, you know, blah, blah, blah. Of course I'm going to stir them up, and we're going to say, mate, not enough videos. You didn't watch the videos, and they're going to go, oh, sorry. And I'm going to say, oh, and you text me 8 o'clock at night, oh, sorry, you know. Mate, how about the ones that say, oh, I'm so sorry for contacting you at midnight on Sunday night before your biggest day of the week. No, it's not exactly like that, but you know, if you're really sorry, then don't do it, because you've already said sorry in the message. It's like saying swearing, going, I'm really sorry for swearing, but blah, 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 blah. It's like you're not sorry. If you've had time to write a swear word, like on our Facebook groups, no swearing. That's why they're the best groups on the net. Okay? No personal attacks, no carrying on, and you know what? Even people that want to be smart, I haven't got time for it anymore, right? I'm getting less tolerant to people that want to play games, right? So I had I'm going to call him an ex-client, because he was a client, and that's cool, and he does all his own stuff, and that's great, and I've done my best to educate him. But you know, he gets in a bit of trouble on Facebook in general, because maybe he's one of those people that makes it the Facebook that people hate. But anyway, he's got a few profiles, he has to keep getting a new one because he keeps getting banned and all that sort of thing. Anyway, so he's in our groups, and you know, this is the problem. So Dobinson suspension, right? We've been using it over 10 years. It's in all our cars. It's great value for money. So if people want suspension, you ask me, my answer is, of course, that's what you should use, because that's what I use. I mean, this is what I specialise in. This is all the cars I see, all the suspension I see, all I read on our Facebook groups and comments and everything. So I reckon I'm pretty well equipped to work out what's the best value for money suspension, what people can afford, and what's decent, this sort of thing. So, you know what, there's a post, someone saying, hey, you know, how about this EFS? And look, I don't see a lot of EFS. I know a few people that have had problems, and that's the minority that I know of. There's at least 2 that I can name, that I remember, that I can speak to on the phone and say, hey, tell me about your EFS. And that's all I know. So out of the few I know, there's at least 2 that I can name that have had bad experiences, flogged in a short period of time, leaks, whatever. So that's what I said. I said, look, you know, I don't know much about it. I put a report to someone's asking, what do you know, anybody? And people can put in their comments. I'm not going to argue. I don't care. Everyone's mentioned their own experience, but because that's their experience, right? So that's fine. That's what they had. But my experience is, the ones I know of, you know, they had a bit of trouble. You know, what's trouble? And I said, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, oh, let me guess, everyone should use Dobinsons, right? Yeah, mate, good work, Phil. No, wrong. Everybody should use Dobinsons, that's right. But, you know, the smarty pants way of doing it, you know, it just got you banned from the groups, because I can't be bothered, right? I can't be bothered with smarty pantses. So I clicked ban, share it across all groups, delete recent posts, bing, I ticked all the boxes, because I went, I don't give a stuff, right? So don't get smart, don't waste my time. You know what I recommend? I've got good reason and experience to recommend it. If you want to get something else, that's fine. I'm not going to say, you've got to get that because I said so. I just give my information, I share my experiences. You can get Dobinsons off me, you can get it off someone else, you can get whatever you want off someone else, but you're not going to get anything else from me because I only need to recommend what I use because that's what I think is the best value. If that's what I'm going to use, that's what I'm going to recommend for you. I've had ARB offer me BP51s, because they see I'm big on Dobinsons and they want to get their BP51 name. I said, well, let's have a look at this pricing. For a start, it's overpriced, okay? And people are comparing, so this EFS for the same money, ARB nitro charger. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. Let's not just go there in this video, but whether it's that or EFS or whatever brand you want, quite often you're comparing twin tube pricing, and it's about the same as the Dobinsons mono tubes. I mean, if you want cheap, the Dobinsons twin tubes are much cheaper. They're okay. I wouldn't put them in anymore because the mono tubes are far superior, and they're still value for money. They're cheap. It's just maybe they're a little bit dearer than some of the other twin tube stuff, but maybe they're about the same price. So there's not much in it. It's just a no-brainer. So that's what it is. That's how I feel about it. It's all in the suspension information. Check the playlists. Anyway, I've yacked long enough. Bada bing, bada boom. That's me having a yak. That's our chit chat. You text me, you want to have another chit chat. There's another chit chat for those people who want to have a chit chat. I hope you enjoyed it. And bada bing, man. I'm here to look after you, give you the info. I've got your back. You're doing the right thing. I'll look after you. Everybody knows that. You know how it works. You won't get better customer service anywhere in the world. Catch you on the next video. See you.